So we are here seeing the lions, and they are the kings of the jungle. Oh my god, look at how he's coming. Oh my days. Anyways, I'm still scared, but he's going to tell us about how they live, and yeah, basically that's why we have more info on everything. I'm fucking scared.
We just talked about the lion being the king of the jungle. If I may ask, do you know why he's called the king of the jungle?
Because he's powerful.
Let's check the young male. He has, like the males have got men around the neck. I mean that here part is called the men. So the males have the men, which looks like a crown, making them a king. Now secondly, it is the duty of the females to hunt for the food. They go in the world, they hunt for the food, then they bring to this guy. So he's treated like a king. And when he roars, animals in jungle must obey. Just like when a king talks, the servants must keep quiet and listen to him.
Ladies, just a second. Ladies, can we copy from the lioness, because she goes and hunts food for her man? So some of your ladies should learn how to give your man some.
Like you said, it is the females to go and do the hunting. They hunt for the prey, they bring to the family, and then the male first eats. That's why they call, like, you've taken the lions. So the male first eats, the females come and eat, and then the young ones eat later.
So at the back of his mind, does he think about them as well, or he doesn't care, like he eats everything and you guys can figure yourselves out, or they work as a family and he takes his part and thinks of the young ones also and the female?
Now, I was talking about what happens in the wild. Now he also cares for his family. He has to eat, meaning also that the others who also want to eat behind him. That's why he leaves others for also his followers who are behind, following him, to come and eat. Now his duty is to protect his territory. He goes and patrols his territory. He just comes home once in a while to check on his family. No, he goes. But now the sole duty for taking care of the family depends on on the females. That's why it is the females who do the hunting. But now when the family is extremely hungry, they need a bigger prey. Now that's when the male can engage in for maybe to also hunt animals like now the buffaloes, which can at least serve the whole family. But if it is petty small animals, it is the duty of the females who do the hunting.
How nice.
And then these are the only big cats which live in a family. For them, they belong to the social family led by a dominant male.
Not like the leopard that just fucks and lives. Okay.
Not like the leopards. Now in the family there has to be one dominant male. If there are two males, they will have to fight. Unless these are brother and sister, because sometimes when the parents give birth to the young ones, now these cubs grow up. Now in case there are two males, they can leave the family and go and form also their own pride. Now there, because they are still young, they form a group to be able to hunt together as they gain experience. But sometimes they remain together for life and also form a pride of their own when they're also ruling together. So by also having two males in the same family who are brothers, it gives them more strength to protect their territory.
But you said two males that are brothers. Two males, they're brothers. They can live together. But the father and son cannot coexist.
The father and the son do not coexist, especially when the son reaches the age of around 2 years, because by then he also needs his own territory. Now, how do you get your territory? By fighting your father, which the father cannot allow. So he has to send out of the family before you can grow old enough to provoke him and also face him for a fight.
So, I guess you've learned something about the social wild cats. And he's just going to tell us one last thing, and yeah, we'll go to another animal.
Now these are carnivorous animals. Sometimes you find them eating the grass, but not because they are hungry, but because in the grass there is some acid which helps in digesting food. And also when they get, if they want to deworm themselves, they also eat the grass so that they want to deworm themselves to vomit, because sometimes they lick their fur. Now the fly is taken to the body, which now rolls like in the form of balls. So to get rid of that, they have to eat the grass and then vomit it out. So
I've seen dogs eating. I've seen dogs eating grass a couple of times. Okay.
That's the same reason,
That's
to deworm themselves.
alright. Thank you so much, and we're gonna see another animal. Wow, how cool is that? Oh my gosh. He's going to tell us about his favorite bird, actually favorite animal, and it's the I'm going to give him the pleasures of telling us everything he wants to say about it, and I'm going to hand the mic to him.
Alright, now in here we have some special bird species called the weaver birds. We have these black ones called the black velvet weaver birds, and we also have the yellow ones with the black heads called the black headed weaver birds. These birds are very special to me because of their behavior. Now if you hear them, they're always making the calls, always noisy. You wonder why. That's because they're calling their partners. Why are they calling their partners? To approve some things, because it is the duty of the males to build the nest. Now if the male wants to build a nest, now he goes out and gets one grass, comes back and fixes. After fixing, he calls the female.
Do you like this?
Do you like this one? If she likes, she also responds until the entire building is complete. Now if it's complete, now this man calls the female to come for the final inspection. Now the female enters inside, checks everything, and she comes out, stands again and looks. Now if it's a good one, she will go out there and gets a soft grass, enter. That means I'm ready to lay my eggs in this house. It's very nice nest for me. It's a beautiful one. You're a good husband. You know how to construct a nest. That's why I can marry for this season. But if it's a bad one, she will remove one grass from your nest and flies with it. That means the house is a bad one. You have to destroy it. So this guy wakes up in the morning and destroys the entire nest.
And starts from scratch.
Starts again to build a new nest until the house is complete. That means now, if you don't build a good house, you can't get a good wife. So you have to always build a good nest to get a beautiful wife. That's how they get their wives. And hope that also men out there build houses for their wives.
Can
before.
you tell Kwezi? Can you tell Kwezi that?
Crazy, go get some nice house for your lady before she runs away from you.
Anyway, thank you so much, and I think I also like this bird because it's teaching some of the people I know something. Okay. I'm finally glad to reach this segment of the chimpanzees because it's Kwezi's ancestors, and yeah, so I've really had Kwezi today. Anyway, actually all these chimpanzees, oh my god, did you see that? These chimpanzees have names, so he's going to tell us more about them. And remember that all these things have feelings, so we should treat them with respect. So tell us.
Okay, at Uganda Wildlife Education Center we have 20 chimpanzees, and out of the 20, only 2 were captively born here. The rest were rescued from the wild, because in Uganda people are still killing the animals, destroying the vegetation and so on. So these guys do not have a home. So what we do, we bring them here, we give them a home to live again. Now if you look around here, we have water which surrounds this island, because chimpanzees do not swim water because they have less fats in their body. So when they go in the water, they simply sink. They cannot float. So when they sink, that means they're going to drown. So that's why they do not like water. So the water keeps them on the island. Otherwise, without this water here, the chimpanzees will escape to come and attack, because they're very, very strong and very aggressive. One chimpanzee is as strong as 5 men. So if this guy gives you one punch, you might even forget your name.
Me, I won't come back to life. I'm very certain of that.
Now we have 20 of them. All of them have names. Their first leader was called Zakayo, but Zakayo became too old and he lost his strength. After losing the strength, they chose a new one called Matoke, but Matoke was very greedy. He liked so much food and women, so he was overthrown by the current one called Aluma, who is now on the throne. He has ruled for around 7 years now.
No wonder he's so proud, man. We called this homie over here and he was just like, talk to the bat.
Now for them to be the alpha male, he must be very, very strong and he must have support of the females.
So he's the strongest among all of them and he supports the females, not just using them.
There are very many attributes to consider, one of which is strength. Courageous. You must have support of the females. You must show care to others. So Aluma is strong. He cares for the young ones. He cares for the family. And he's accountable to everything which happens on the island here. Now check that guy there. I told you chimpanzees do not like water. But now sometimes as we feed them, we throw food and it remains in the water. So what this guy does, he has to think. Now what do? I do not like water, but I like that food. So what do? Sometimes they think and scratch their heads. After thinking so hard, he goes and gets a longer stick and begins to pull the food like he was doing until the food comes. So this guy is also actually very intelligent like humans. They're able to solve problems and find solutions to everything which they come across. Now we have this young one. This one is called Dugu. He's around 8 years. There is also James, one of our stubborn chimpanzees, who is always making noise. Because of that, he's always been beaten by the alpha male, because our alpha male doesn't like noise, doesn't like stubbornness. Once you prove that he's stubborn, if you run away, he waits for the feeding time. When the feeding time now comes, he comes close to you and then he gets it, because by then he'll be busy feeding. Then comes and gives you pants to teach you a lesson. But this guy is still stubborn. He keeps on making noise. We have that one called Kasumba. Then we have that one eating carrots called James, rather Otim. Otim is very, very stressed, because when Otim came here, he was the leader for the young ones when they were still staying alone in that house. But after integration, when they came here, he lost his strength because the others who are now bigger, so he became stressed. He lost his power. Because of that, he stays alone, always scratching himself. Then we have that one who was very greedy called Matoke, the one with some gray hair on the back. That one is called Matoke. Now there's this one called Sarah. Sarah is a female. When she came here, this one walking. Yeah, sitting down now. When she came here, she was the slave queen of this place. Even the male chimpanzees were fighting over her. We feed our chimpanzees 4 times in a day. In the morning, we give them porridge, and the porridge you put some sugar and milk. If there is no sugar, that is a strike. And we give them porridge in cups. Strike. And we give them porridge in cups.
How do you get the porridge?
Now our chimpanzees sleep in that house, because chimpanzees build nests every single night from tree branches. So if you allow these guys to sleep on the island here, that means by now there will be no tree standing here. Because of that, our chimpanzees have to walk every single night to sleep there to save our trees. Now when they go there, we give them boxes and newspapers. They come and collect them. You dress your bed and then you can sleep. Now when they wake up in the morning, we give them porridge in cups. Others hold the cups and drink.
How do they go there? Like on their own? Like they are not rebellious or anything like that?
There is a bridge behind a gate and a tunnel which connects them to the house, but it's always locked. When the clock 6, that's when they open again, they go, because now they know by 6 there is food waiting for them inside there, which is their favorite, which is posho. They like posho so much, so when they open the gate, everyone just rushes in there to get the posho, the best meal which they like. So we don't force them to go there. But sometimes we have stubborn ones who remain. You have to come and push them by force now.
Anyways, so the king has... Where is he going? Oh, he's the one there, yeah? Anyway, Kwasi, please say hi to your friends before we close this. Kwasi says hi. Anyway, thank you so much. And we are going to our last animal and be right back. We are finally here seeing our last animal that looks like a tile in my own perception. But anyway, he's going to give us more information and probably we could learn something new today.
Now here we have some weird guy called the Nile crocodile. These are the second largest crocodiles in the world. The largest are called the salt crocodiles.
Where are they from?
Nile crocodiles?
No, the largest.
The largest the salt crocodiles. Sometimes they live in the seas and so on.
Okay.
So now here we have the Nile crocodiles. If you look at the back of the crocodile, it looks like a solar panel. That is for a reason. These guys are reptiles. They do not regulate their own body temperature. So they depend on external temperature. So whenever they feel hot, they come in water. If they feel cold, they go and sunbathe. Now sometimes you find them like on the ground, but the mouth is open because the internal skin has got a lot of holes through which they can lose heat, what's called thermogapping, to regulate body temperature. Now this back, which looks like solar panel, traps enough heat during the day. So at night now they can begin to radiate the heat throughout the body to feel warm at night. Now the crocodiles lay eggs, but they do not incubate their eggs. Now they need to give warmth for the eggs. How do they do that? Now this guy is, allow me pick something from the ground. So if the female wants to lay eggs, she digs a hole. After digging a hole, she gets dry leaves, puts them on the ground. Then she gets dry branches, also puts across. She gets wet leaves, puts, and then she gets wet branches, also puts. Now she can lay the eggs. Now the dry grass begins to decay to give warmth to the eggs. By the time the dry grass finishes decomposing, the dry branches also begin to decompose, giving warmth to the eggs. If it gets done, the wet leaves by then will have gotten dry and also begin to decompose. By the time the entire thing decomposes, the eggs will have hatched, because it takes around 3 months for the eggs to hatch. Those are 90 days.
Quick question, are those the baboons monkeys, chimpanzees making this?
Chimpanzees.
We can now continue.
Now these guys have got no sex chromosomes, so the sex of the young ones depends on temperature. If the temperature is below 30 and above 32, it hatches into a female. Between 31 to 32, it hatches into male. But now these guys have got no differences in terms of appearance. So the only way to know the difference between a male and a female is by doing sex. That's so you can go and push your hand through the anal opening, then you can fill the organ with your hands. That's the only way you can. Maybe we are looking for a volunteer to come and do for hours. If you're willing, you can come and help and find something for hours.
No, that thing will just eat me.
No.
Wow. Kwasi, could you grab that, please? Kwasi, see, there. I can see the solar panel from here. So these are the cutest monkeys we have. Do you see those tits? Them titties. Okay, So, thank you for watching this episode of Kinganda, and I just want to tell you that about the pricing for the non-resident foreigners. It's $15 for adults and $10 for the children. Then the resident foreigners are $10 and the children are $5. Then Ugandan adults are 10,000, yeah, and the children are 5,000. And there's also restaurants here where you could get something to eat, and like that's after you're done with everything, like looking at the animals and all that. How cute is that? Anyway, yeah. And thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like and drop some comments down there. And please do not forget to tap on the notification panel. Thank you so much. Adios.